Welcome to the Cenario podcast, your guide to mental health and well-being. Each episode, we uncover practical tools, discuss expert insights, and explore how supplements can transform your mental health journey. Get ready to learn, grow, and thrive with us.
Okay, so, we've been talking a lot lately about complex carbohydrates, right?
Right, yeah.
And how they can really impact your energy levels and even like your mental well-being.
Yeah.
So for this deep dive, we are going to just go full force into those complex carbs, really try to unpack all the info you've been sharing with us about them.
Absolutely.
And see what we can learn about how they can impact our physical health and our mental health.
Let's do it.
Okay, so to start off, can you remind us what's the core difference, between simple carbs and those complex carbs?
Yeah, simple carbs, like when you think about sugary snacks or things like that,
Yeah.
those are the ones that give you that really quick burst of energy,
Right.
but then you get like the big dip afterwards.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Complex carbs, on the other hand, those are more like your brain's best friend
Really?
when it comes to getting like consistent power.
Yeah.
And, what's really interesting is that it's not just physical stamina we're talking about here. It's also about your mood and being able to think clearly.
Wow. Okay. So just to make sure we're all on the same page here.
Yeah.
When we talk about complex carbohydrates, are we talking about those like fiber-rich foods, those whole foods like sweet potatoes or lentils or even like chickpeas, things like that?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
It's all those good whole grains too, like your oats and brown rice.
Gotcha.
The secret really lies in how they're made up.
Okay.
It's like these long chains of sugar molecules all tangled up.
Interesting.
And your body has to work to kind of like untangle them and break them down.
Oh, so it takes longer.
It's a much slower process. And that's what prevents those blood sugar spikes that we were talking about before.
Gotcha.
Instead of those spikes, you get a nice even flow of energy.
So much better for you, right?
Much better.
Okay, so that makes total sense when it comes to like having more energy, more sustained energy.
Yeah.
But how does what we eat actually affect like how we feel and how well we think,
There are a few main ways this actually happens.
Okay.
First off, your brain uses glucose as its primary source of energy. And both simple and complex carbs, they turn into glucose.
Yeah.
But it's all about the quality of how that glucose gets delivered.
Interesting.
Complex carbs give your brain a stable supply.
Oh.
And that prevents those big highs and lows in your blood sugar.
So which would then affect your mood, right?
Exactly. All those emotional roller coasters.
I see.
Those are often tied to fluctuating blood sugar.
So it's not just about like any fuel for the brain, it's about the right kind of fuel.
Yeah, it's 100%. And this actually leads us into another way that complex carbs help with mental health, which is stabilizing your blood sugar.
Okay.
By keeping those levels
Yeah.
even, you're going to feel a lot more emotionally balanced.
That makes sense.
You're less likely to get irritable or anxious out of nowhere.
Yeah. I can definitely relate to that kind of like mid-afternoon slump after
Yeah.
I have something sugary.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we've talked about the energy piece and like stabilizing blood sugar. But are there other ways that these complex carbs can actually like improve our mental health?
Absolutely, there are. And it actually gets even more interesting. So complex carbs can help increase the production of those chemicals in your brain that help regulate your mood.
You mean like our neurotransmitters?
Exactly, like serotonin and dopamine.
Dopamine.
Those are the ones that really make you feel good, And
Yeah.
at complex carbs, they have the nutrients that your brain needs to produce them.
Wow, that's amazing.
It is.
So it's not just about, avoiding the bad stuff. It's about actually supporting those positive things in our brain.
Exactly.
Amazing. And is there anything else?
Oh, yes. There's one more thing that we can't forget about.
Ah.
The gut-brain connection.
What's that?
So you have trillions of bacteria living in your gut, right?
I've heard that. Yeah.
And these little guys, they actually play a huge role in your mental well-being.
Really?
They can influence your mood and how well you think.
So what do complex carbs have to do with that?
Well, complex carbs are full of fiber. And fiber is like food for those good gut bacteria.
Oh, so it helps them thrive.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And when those bacteria are happy and healthy, they can produce all sorts of compounds that can travel to your brain and really have a positive impact on how you feel and how well you think.
That is so wild. I had no idea that it was all connected like that.
It is. It
Yeah.
really is. Your gut health is so important for your mental health.
Okay, so we've covered how complex carbs provide steady energy, how they stabilize blood sugar,
Right.
how they boost our mood, and even how they support our gut health, which then in turn supports our brain health.
Right.
Is there anything else, or is that like the main gist of it?
Well, on a more like, thinking level.
Yeah.
The consistent energy and all those nutrients you get from complex carbs, they really help you focus better. They improve your memory, and they even help clear up that brain fog.
Yeah, I hate that.
When your brain has what it needs to function well, it's going to perform better.
No.
That's the bottom line.
And from what I understand, these foods are also packed with other nutrients that are important for our overall health.
They are full of B vitamins and iron and magnesium.
Okay.
And those aren't just good for you in general. They actually play specific roles in how well you think.
Interesting.
And how balanced your hormones are, and even in producing those feel-good chemicals in your brain, like serotonin and dopamine.
I see.
For example, you need certain B vitamins for your nerves to function properly, and iron is what carries oxygen to your brain.
Wow. Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here
We have.
about how powerful these complex carbs are for our mental and physical well-being.
Yes.
But I know you also mentioned this really interesting connection between complex carbs and omega-3 fatty acids.
Yes.
So tell me a little bit more about that. What's the link between the two?
Well, this is where things get really exciting.
Okay.
When you pair complex carbohydrates
Yeah.
with omega-3 fatty acids,
Okay.
especially the EPA and DHA kinds that you find in fatty fish like salmon and sardines, you're basically supercharging your brain health.
Okay, hold on. Supercharging. What do you mean by that?
Well, omega-3s have all these amazing benefits that work perfectly with the benefits of complex carbs.
Like what?
They can really boost your memory and your ability to learn new things.
Wow.
They can even help manage anxiety and depression. They support the growth of new brain cells, and they just make you feel better and think more clearly.
It sounds like they're both, supporting the brain in different ways, but they're working together to make each other even stronger.
That's a great way to put it.
So complex carbs give the brain that constant fuel and the nutrients it needs.
Right.
And the omega-3s are there to make sure those brain cells are healthy and that they can communicate with each other properly.
Exactly. Together, they really are like a dynamic duo for both your physical energy and your emotional well-being.
That's amazing. Okay, so we've got the why, but now let's get to the what. Let's dive into that list of top complex carbs that you put together for boosting both energy and mental well-being.
Okay.
So first up, we have oats. Why are oats so good for calming your brain?
Well, oats are great because they have this special type of fiber called beta-glucan.
Okay.
And that fiber really helps to stabilize your blood sugar.
Gotcha.
And when your blood sugar is stable,
Yeah.
it actually lowers the amount of cortisol in your body.
Cortisol being that stress hormone.
So less cortisol means less brain fog, and it's easier to focus,
Mm-hmm.
and you just feel calmer overall.
That's amazing. Okay, so moving on to another favorite, sweet potatoes.
Sweet potatoes.
I love them so much.
They're delicious.
What is it about them that makes them so good for relaxing?
Well, sweet potatoes are packed with fiber, vitamin A, potassium, and most importantly, magnesium.
Magnesium. Oh, yeah, that's the one that's supposed to be really good for sleep, right?
Exactly. Magnesium is known for helping you relax, and it can even help reduce anxiety and promote better sleep.
Okay, next up we have brown rice, which is a staple in so many diets.
It is.
So how does brown rice help regulate our mood?
Well, brown rice is a great source of fiber, and it's full of those essential B vitamins,
Okay.
especially vitamin B6 and folate, which are really important for producing serotonin.
Oh, yeah, serotonin is that feel-good chemical in our brains, right?
Exactly, the one that keeps your mood balanced.
Okay, next on the list we have quinoa.
Quinoa.
Now, quinoa is interesting because it's both a complete protein and a complex carb.
You got it.
So why is it so good for helping us concentrate?
Well, because it's a complete protein and a complex carb. Quinoa gives you long-lasting energy,
Okay.
and it's also loaded with iron, which helps improve blood flow to your brain.
Gotcha.
And it also has magnesium, which we talked about before.
Yeah,
It helps with all that neurotransmitter activity,
Yeah.
reducing stress and improving concentration.
makes sense. Okay, up next, whole grain bread.
Another good one.
So how does that help avoid those mental crashes that we were talking about earlier?
Well, unlike white bread, whole grain bread is full of fiber, protein, and B vitamins.
Okay.
And those slow-digesting complex carbs, they really help keep your energy level stable.
So you don't get those spikes and dips.
Exactly. You're much less likely to experience those mental crashes and mood swings that can come from eating something that's really high in sugar.
Gotcha. Okay, now we've got legumes,
Yes.
like lentils, chickpeas, black beans, those kinds of things.
All the good stuff.
How do those contribute to having a more stable mood?
Well, legumes are a great source of plant-based protein,
Okay.
and they have lots of iron, and of course those slow-digesting complex carbs that we've been talking about.
Right.
Plus, they're full of folate, which we know helps with serotonin production.
Yeah.
And that iron that I mentioned helps prevent fatigue and to make sure your brain is getting enough oxygen.
Gotcha.
All of which are super important for keeping your mood steady.
Okay, so we're getting close to the end of the list here. Next up, barley.
Barley. Oh, yes. Barley is a real superstar when it comes to fiber. And that fiber is really good at managing your blood sugar and your cholesterol levels.
Gotcha.
And because of that, it releases glucose slowly and steadily.
Okay.
Which means more stable brain energy and fewer mood dips after you eat.
That makes sense. Okay, now for another pasta lover out there, whole wheat pasta.
Whole wheat pasta, yes.
So how does that help us stay mentally sharp, and how does it work with those omega-3s that we talked about earlier?
Well, unlike regular pasta, whole wheat pasta still has all the fiber and nutrients from the whole grain.
Okay.
And it's got all those B vitamins, which are key for healthy nerve function and overall mental sharpness.
Okay.
And remember how we were talking about how well omega-3s and complex carbs work together?
Yes.
Well, if you pair whole wheat pasta with some salmon, for example, you're getting a real brain-boosting meal.
Interesting. Okay, 2 more to go.
Almost there.
Next, we have green peas.
Green peas, oh, they're so good for you.
They are.
They're packed with fiber, antioxidants, and plant-based protein. And they help fight oxidative stress, which can actually damage brain cells. And that can negatively affect your mood.
I see.
They're also a good source of vitamin C, which supports your mental health and your immune system.
Interesting. Okay, and last but not least, we have butternut squash.
Butternut squash, yes.
So how does this delicious vegetable promote mental alertness?
Well, butternut squash is a good source of fiber and vitamin C.
Okay.
And it's got beta-carotene and manganese.
Now, what does manganese do?
Manganese is really important for supporting how your brain metabolizes energy.
Okay.
So basically, it helps your brain produce energy more efficiently.
Gotcha.
Which means you're going to feel more mentally alert and more emotionally balanced.
Wow. Okay, so this has been incredibly insightful.
It has.
But now for our listener out there who's thinking, okay, this all sounds great, but how do I actually start incorporating these complex carbs and omega-3s into my diet?
Yeah, that's a great question.
What are some simple swaps that they can make?
You know, it really doesn't have to be a huge overhaul of your diet.
That's good to hear.
You could start small.
Okay.
For example, instead of having sugary cereal for breakfast, try oatmeal with some chia seeds or flaxseed.
Right.
For lunch, you can add quinoa or roasted sweet potatoes or even some green peas to your salads.
Yeah.
And for dinner, you could have whole wheat pasta with some grilled salmon or sardines. And for snacks, you can munch on some chickpeas or have some lentil soup or even some whole grain crackers with walnuts.
Those are all great ideas, you know, and really manageable swaps.
They are.
It really shows that, you know, even small changes can make a big difference.
That's the truth. The main takeaway here is that when you choose those nutrient-dense complex carbohydrates over simple sugars and refined grains, you're going to feel a real difference in your mental and physical well-being.
And you'll have that sustained energy that we've been talking about.
Absolutely. And don't forget the power of combining those complex carbs with omega-3 fatty acids for better emotional resilience, sharper memory, and steady energy throughout the day.
Such a powerful message. And, you know, it really highlights the importance of building a strong nutritional foundation that supports both your body and your mind, you know, for long-term well-being.
Exactly.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, think about just 1 or 2 simple swaps that you could make to include more complex carbohydrates in your diet.
That's a good idea.
And see how it affects your energy levels, your ability to focus, and even your mood.
You might be surprised by the results.
It really is fascinating how deeply nutrition and mental well-being are connected.
Absolutely.
And this is really just the beginning of understanding that connection.
It is. There's so much more to learn.
Exactly. Well, thank you so much for sharing all this information with us.
It's my pleasure.
And to you listening, we hope this has been helpful and insightful.
We do.
And we'll see you next time on The Deep Dive.
See you then.
Thanks for tuning in to the Cenario podcast. Don't forget to visit Cenario.com for more expert tips, articles, and supplements designed to support your mental health. If you enjoyed this episode, remember to subscribe and share it with a friend. Until next time, take care of yourself.